Welcome again to Ann Shelley from the 250 or so transparenting programs. I think you probably taught facilitators at almost all of those now. Amazing, amazing, as well as thousands of parents in your own transparenting class and counseling work. I'm a grandparent, and so I get to hear things anymore. I thought I was past this with my own kids raised, but this is what I hear when there's a fight. That's not fair to me. I'm telling. He started it. I'm not going to be your friend. You're not the boss of me. Na boo boo, and get off my property. Those are 7 lines. And when I work with more challenged, I'll put it that way, they're good people, but they're challenged. They're stuck in the old divorce, and I look at their docket sheets and naming the names of the motions that they filed in court. You know, they all fall under one of those 7 categories. I'm going to go run. I'm going to go tell. I'm going to go to the authority figure. What do you think? What's going on here that otherwise heroic people who would do anything for their kids really are caught in kind of a petty place?
I think definitely one of the things that causes very well-meaning parents, very compassionate parents, to be stuck in the pettiness of those type of comments and those type of arguments is the grief process. They're losing a relationship, and a relationship that maybe they recognized had some faults, but there was a relationship there, and moving away from that and into a healing place where they can get a better perspective and they can look back and say, I can now move away from that person, I can move away from that relationship, and yet I can work with them. Then we get away from the, you're not being nice to me, that's not fair to me. But when we're stuck in that emotional connection with one another, it's so difficult to let go. So we really encourage parents to work hard and to retain the focus on moving emotionally away from one another so that you can put your energy someplace else and away from the very minor, petty kind of issues that all of us can get stuck in.
And I do want to emphasize, Ann, as I know you would as well, I mean, there are some families that need to be in court. If there's domestic violence, there's a danger for some reason in the family, yes, that is a genuine issue to bring, and people should not hesitate to do that, and courts should work to be extremely diligent in protecting people in those circumstances. But we're talking again about situations where it can look to us to just be huge to say somebody was just unfair to me and life is too hard for me not to share that with you. And one of the things that I think can define that move is heroism, isn't it? Because grief is not something I'm going to do Tuesday afternoon.
Absolutely.
This is, my barber says, it's a 5-year process, really, 5 years before really we are through this, and we're never quite completely over the losses that come with losing this person we were going to be lifelong friends with, and we were going to grow old with, and we were going to care for each other with, and we were going to help each other in sickness and in health. And but in any event, this is what makes it heroic, is that it's not easy, and it's while we are suffering all that we need to be these rescuers of our kids to give them the best childhood that they can have and the closest approximation to what they would have had if the marriage hadn't failed.
Absolutely. If the parents move away from that emotional connection and into heroism and retaining that focus for their children, the kids are going to move right along with them.
One thing for sure is not going to help is being unnecessarily involved in that I'm going to go tell teacher, I'm going to go tell judge that, you know, I've really been mistreated here. I mean, that is moving us further and further from the heroic side of ourselves that will be a rescue both to our kids and ourselves.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ann.